Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are group 15. Would like to present our group assignment presentation. Introduction. Ketapang Trading.co signed a 150 million deal with Jembal Sdn Bhd to supply semiconductor parts for Malaysia electric vehicle industry. This deal was important not just for the companies but also for national projects like the Malaysia EV Revolution 2030. From the start, there were problems. Ketapang thought they were finalizing a contract, but Jembal believed they were still negotiating. When the contract was signed, it was done by someone at Ketapang who wasn't legally allowed to sign, which raises question about whether the contract is valid. Jembal promised that their parts could handle extreme temperature, but they had no proof. In fact, their own internal documents show the parts couldn't perform as claimed. This could be considered a misrepresentation and raise concern about product quality. Later, during Malaysian monsoon season, a lightning strike caused a fire at Jembal factory, destroying a shipment of microprocessor. Because of this, Ketapang couldn't deliver to major client like Proton Imas division. This led to big financial losses and damage to Ketapang reputation. So the case involved unclear contract formation, unauthorized signing.
My name is Ismail and I will explain about free consent, which is coercion issue. This is started when a threatening email containing a reputation damaging photograph was sent by an unknown person to a CEO of Ketapang Trading to threatening to release personal information about him to Malaysia tabloid if the Jembal affair continues with delay or changes. Whether the threat could affect the agreement made with both companies. For the law, according to under the Contract Act 1950, Section 15 is coercion to do or threaten to do any act prohibited by the Penal Code or unlawful detention or threatening to detain any property to detriment of any person, a person to make a contract. While Section 19(1) is the voidability of agreement without free consent. When consent to an agreement is caused by coercion, fraud or misrepresentation, the agreement is a contract voidable at the option of the parties whose consent was so caused. Economic coercion can be coercion where the pressure is so strong as to eliminate the free will of the individual. The case related to case Allied Granite Marble Industry Sdn Bhd versus Chin Fong Holding Sdn Bhd, when one party warned the other party if they refuse to agree to his plan to protect the family. For application, the main question in this case is whether the contract agreement between Ketapang Trading and Jembal Sdn Bhd was voluntary or whether it was made under pressure, known as economic duress. This is extortion and is an offence under Malaysian law. Under Section 15 of the Contract Act 1950, the use of threat or unlawful pressure to make a person sign a contract amount to coercion. Since the threat were intended to frighten Datuk Seri Shahadat into complying with the contract, it means that his agreement was not voluntary. Therefore, under Section 19(1), the contract is voidable for being coercion. According to Malaysia case law, namely Allied Granite versus Chin Fong Holding, a contract can be set aside where it was signed under the law of threat that create fear and duress. Since the threat were made, the CEO freedom to make a free and voluntary choice did not apply. This situation is equivalent to economic duress. Accordingly, pursuant to Section 15 of the Contract Act 1950, Ketapang Trading has a valid legal basis to argue that the contract is voidable. For the conclusion, the threat of an email renders the Datuk Seri Shahadat amount to coercion and economic duties in the provision of Section 15 of the Contract Act 1950. The contract between Ketapang Trading and Jembal Sdn Bhd can therefore be declared voidable, and Ketapang is entitled to rescission or exemption from the performance of the contract.
My name is Imran. My metric number is S70548. My next law is misrepresentation. The issue is the contract between Ketapang Trading Co. and Jembal Sdn Bhd valid if it was signed by the person without actual authority under Ketapang internal rules. The section involved is section 10(1), which is a valid contract must be made by parties with legal capacity and consent. Next section is section 11. Capacity includes being to age, sound mind and not disqualified. The case law related is the Datuk Jaginder Singh v Tara Rajaratnam 1983, which is a company may be bound even if agent has no actual authority. It's explained that even if an agent lacks actual authority, a company may still be bound if the company or someone to appear to have authority and a third party reasonably believe in the authority. Protect third parties who act in good faith. The application involved the contract signed by Regional Operation Director with no board approval. Director appeared authorized, no internal warning to Jembal, signing done, publicity with meeting present. Ketapang silence and conduct lead Jembal to reasonably rely on the director authority. And the last one is this mirror the Jaginder Singh case. That's all from me. For the conclusion, thus the contract is more likely substantial because Jembal Sdn Bhd accept in good condition that the director of Ketapang possess authority. This is pursuant to legal principle in Datuk Jaginder Singh v Tara Rajaratnam, where a company may still be effective if it permit one to appear to have power.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wan Ahmad Razi bin Wan Abdul Rahman. My metric number is 70544. So, for issue 3, breach under sales of good acts. Facts. Ketapang Trading.co contract Jembal Sdn Bhd to supply 50,000 specialized microprocessor. 14 monitor. During Malaysia monsoon season, Jembal failed to deliver the shipment, citing a factory fire caused by simultaneous lightning strike. This led Ketapang to default on key contract, incur 7.9 million in liquidated damage, lost a 25 million ringgit annual deal. Ketapang also suffer reputational damage. Legal action was initiated by Ketapang in the Kuala Lumpur High Court with Jembal filing a counterclaim. So for the issue, whether there's a specific legal defense under the doctrine of frustration or force major event which is lightning-induced factory fire can excuse the non-delivery considering the severe financial and reputational loss suffered by Ketapang. So here, the court is likely to find that Jembal breached the contract. The fire thought unfortunate occurring during a predictable monsoon season and was not sufficiently to excuse performance. Without a force major clauses or evidence of reasonable preventive measure, Jembal's reliance on frustration is weak. Therefore, Ketapang is entitled to claim damage under the Sales of Good Act. Thank you.
Issue 4, under influence. Exclusion clauses and consumer protection. Issue, whether Jembal Sdn Bhd is truly released from statutory obligations under the Sale of Goods Act of 1957 and the Consumer Protection Act of 1999 by the exclusion provision in the final contract. Law, Section 29 of the Contracts Act 1950 prohibits agreements that completely restrict a party from enforcing their rights through the court. Section 19 of the Sale of Goods Act 1957 implies terms in sales contracts that goods must be merchantable quality and fit for purpose, especially when the buyer relies on the seller's expertise. Consumer Protection Act 1999 made it makes it an offence to accept payment without intending to supply the goods or service. Application. In order to avoid any obligation under CPA and SOGA, Jembas Nia Berhad added an escalation clauses. And for the conclusion, the escalation clause that aims to restrict Jembas Nia Berhad's liability is invalid and goes against Malaysian legal regulation. Thank you.
For the issue 5, which is misrepresentation, issue whether such an agreement between Jembal, Sdn Bhd and Ketapang Trading Co is voidable due to misrep regarding the technical specification in the semiconductor device. For the law, it involves Contract Act 1950, which is Section 18 defines misrepresentation as a false or incorrect statement. Section 19 state contract voidable at the option party of being misled. Section 16B under SOGA 1957, whereby goods must be fit for purpose to disclose to the seller. For the case law, in Regrave versus Heard, the court decided that a party who had been misled by a false statement is entitled to rescind the contract even if the party had an opportunity to verify the truth but did not so. For application, Jembas Sdn Bhd present their Class A semiconductor components that withstand temperature between -40 to 125 degrees Celsius, but it can only conducted between -20 to 101 degrees Celsius. So for the misrepresentation was at least negligent falling with the scope section 18 Contract Act 1915 and also for requirement of fitness for purpose under section 16B SOGA 1957. Since the components were not suitable for the operation environment for which they were intended for, following the principle in Regrave versus Heard, Ketapang is not excluded from rescinding the contract simply because they did not verify the specification. Their preference on Jembal, technical assurance certify the requirement of inducement requirement. For the conclusion, Jembal in an accurate specification constitute a misrep under Section 18 of the Contract Act 1950. As a result, the contract is voidable under Section 19 and Ketapang may be entitled to rescind the contract and claim damage under the SOGA for breach implied condition as the fitness for purpose. So for conclusion for our issue, the conflict between Jembal and Ketapang involves several legal issues in the Malaysian business law. Problems include coercion, misrepresentation, unclear or fair condition leading to undue influence, and failure to deliver goods for showing breach of contract. Jembal action may be blackmailed under Section 50 of Contract Act, renders the contract voidable. It also have failure to reveal the true extent of performance of microprocessor by Jembal constitute misrep under Section 18 and Section 19. The goods delivered also not suitable quality and not fit for purpose contrary under Section 16B. Jembal failure to deliver 50,000 microprocessor during monsoon, which was a predictable risk. Since there was no clear force majeure clause, it counts as breach of contract under Section 50 and Section 16 of SOGA like Ray Moore and Co. versus Londora and Co. cases. Ketapang Trading Co. can seek to cancel the contract, claim compensation and work to restore its reputation. So this case acts as a reminder to parties clearly specify contract terms, make them legal and based on actual representation.